The importance of tea in Japan is not the tea. If Western writers are correct about this Eastern occasion, tea is a ceremony to celebrate harmony, respect, stillness. Every moment is simple, natural. There's no conversation. The tea room has no color to disturb its unity. Symmetry is avoided because it limits the imagination. For the same reason, some things in the room are incomplete, unfinished, so that they can be completed in the mind of the guest. All this is to introduce you to the tea house owner who comes along in the following story, whose family has been serving tea for these purposes for 7 generations. And to begin the explanation that Wendy Hanamura continues of the conflict between the inner unity and outer disturbance of Japan's ancient center.
In an early summer rain, Kyoto seems born anew. In 1994, Japan's ancient capital will mark its 1200th anniversary. For over a millennium, Kyoto has been the seat of religion, a community of living culture and tradition, and many say, the very heart of Japan. So significant was Kyoto's history, the United States spared the city from bombing during World War II. Now, preservationists say, Kyoto is destroying itself in the rush to keep pace with Japan's economic machine.
In many instances, something comes from the outside and destroys something. Something awful and violent happens and ruins a city. But this is a city that's slowly deteriorating from the inside. And it's a very painful process. It's painful for the people who live here. It's painful for the people who come here and see the city in relation to its own past.
In this downtown neighborhood, Kyoto's past stands side by side with its future. In 1989, land prices here shot up 62%, the highest rise in the nation, attracting developers and speculators. Preservationists point out the city has no master plan for the future. The latest controversy centers on plans for a new train station, twice as tall as this existing one. The design calls for a 20-story station hotel complex that will require a special exemption from Kyoto's height regulations. Opponents fear this exception will open the door to others. Project manager Tetsuhisa Shima argues Kyoto cannot stand still and must build a monument for the 21st century.
その間に、常に変わってきてます。それでその時代の中で非常に素晴らしいというものを、残してきた町です。ですから私どもがやってるのは今後さらに100年経っても100年のうちの市民の皆さんが見ても素晴らしい建物だったと。
Opposing the new station is the powerful Buddhist establishment. Temples such as Kiyomizu want to protect their commanding views. Until 1988, by law, no building could stand taller than the majestic Toji Pagoda. Buddhists are lobbying to reinstate those strict height controls. The days of a Zen priest are usually filled with writing and meditation. But as head of the Association of Kyoto's 1,000 Buddhist temples, Daite Arima is leading the fight against high-rise buildings. He says if you want to see skyscrapers, go to Manhattan. Kyoto doesn't need them.
その京都の全体がその一つのね、大きな領域、神聖な領域だというふうに感じるんです。そういう意味で京都をそのままずっとね、保存し保っていくことが、いわゆる私ども犯してならない精神の分野だと思うんですね。そういうものを大切にしていかなくちゃならないんじゃないかと。
Each year, 38 million tourists flock to Kyoto attractions such as the gardens of Heian Shrine, fueling 15% of Kyoto's economy. These gardens and tea houses were perfectly placed against the backdrop of sweeping mountains to the east. Now that harmonious landscape is being destroyed by a tourist hotel. Activists say industry is cutting its own throat by ruining the city's famed views. The pressures of modernization have been felt not only in Kyoto's sacred world, but here in its secular quarters as well. This is the historic entertainment district of Gion, one of the last places where the traditional lifestyle and landscape have endured. Now, even this small pocket of preservation is being threatened by change. Even the traditional row houses of Gion are giving way to more profitable buildings. A block from Matsuya's tea house, a neighbor breaks the unwritten rule: no building over 2 stories.
The most powerful force that protects the city is the way that people live, their lifestyle, their daily lives. A daily life that is slow and quiet and very local. It doesn't commute to a big office or factory every morning from 8 o'clock until 10 or 11 at night. That goes about life at a pace of their own making.
That pace, along with Kyoto itself, may be an anachronism in modern Japan. But Zen priest Arima says business is just a temporary loss, while the treasures of Kyoto are eternal. For World Monitor, this is Wendy Hanamura in Kyoto.
When we come back, crossing to safety.